Capcom has been trying to remove anti-air lights since the very first balance patch. So why are they working here? Well, the thing is, these jump-ins are terrible. So there's a lot of ways around these. The easiest way is to simply trade with them. Most heavies will trade. Akuma's jump anything trades with it pretty much. And even if you do get hit out of the air, you'll come out ahead on damage. Well ahead on damage. The other way, air fireball, dive kick, and air tatsu, they all change the timing enough that the anti-air will just whiff, and you'll punish the recovery. There are other moves I will go over later in this video that have the same properties where they can change the timing, but they're not as noticeable, like a dive kick. Again, I'll go over those later. Okay, back heavy kick. This is the same range as before, as you can probably tell. This is just to show that even though it seems to be working, it's completely out of range, and not pressing any button will win. Pressing a button late will beat it, and all the same timing mix-ups work. This will be important later. It's just here as a proof of concept of why you can't actually use it reliably. Stand heavy kick is very slow. I could go over the math, but you have 13 frames to notice that they're jumping and to press stand heavy kick, or else it will not hit them. Well, it can hit them, but if they press their jump ins right, it will not hit them. And that's a very hard reaction for people. Anyways, I'm still showing you how to beat it because it's not unbeatable. And it does in fact have a huge issue, which I will also go over later. Okay, this is jump forward medium punch. It's the same with jump up and jump back. They all have the same issue where you will simply just get hit out of the air well before you have time to actually use it. It's the same with all of her jump lights. It's actually timed right here to be the quickest you can possibly do it and still land a hit. Any later and you just won't hit them. You will not. Your jump is too shallow to actually hit someone with. Jump heavy kick and neutral jump heavy kick. They both have the same issue, and they come out slower. They do have better range though, so that is a plus. But you're not always plus if you land it, and sometimes you can be punished for landing it, because you still have to go through the rest of your jump. Okay, I'm going to go over how to find these. As far as I know, every character has some way to change their jump arc, and that can be used to beat anti-airs. Right now, the easiest way to do it is to simply find a good range to jump in, that you want to jump in at, and to just jump in a lot. With Cammy right here, I'm showing how to beat stand light kick. All I did was jump in, press every button, change my timings a bit, and I found that jump medium punch can consistently trade with it, which is useful to know. Found that dive kicks usually aren't fast enough, but they can probably be plus. And if they're not plus, you might be able to hit them if you just do them quicker. I also found that against back heavy kick, it still whiffs, so it's an easy solution. And I found that stand heavy kick, it's hard reaction, but if they are able to do it, then you can use EX dive kick and you will punish them. I went back later and checked against back heavy kick. EX dive kick beats that as well. Here I'll show you with Birdie. It's the same thing. This is what I was talking about earlier, how you don't need a move that actually changes your jump arc in the air. His jump medium punch, that move, it pulls his body up enough that anti-airs whiff, because you'll have to time them differently. It doesn't land you a hit, and you probably won't, but if you use it, you can go in and you can do a mix-up, like a grab. Back heavy kick still whiffs at this range as well. And here's Nikali, showing that back heavy kick and stand heavy kick are not reliable anti-airs at certain ranges. Right now, this is the exact same range as before, but Nikali is jumping in, and both of them whiff. You can also do dive kick, and it will beat both of them. You can do dive kick, and it will beat stand light kick. So what do? Well, if he's doing dive kick, you have time to move out of the way. If he doesn't do dive kick, you have to gamble. It's a mix-up between him doing jump in and low buttons, or jump in and press buttons high to beat stand light kick, which is your main anti-air. This is a huge issue because it means the Chun-li can jump, and then you pretty much are stuck in a 50-50. And you're risking 300 damage either way. So you should block it, and then if you block it, he's right next to you, and you're a zoning character, and the Chun-li's a rushdown character. And you're in a bad position. Chun-li needs better anti-airs. This is pretty obvious if you do play her, and you ever find yourself holding down back so that you can charge up EX spinning bird kick. Spinning bird kick is their only reliable anti-air. The rest of them are completely unreliable in many situations. As I showed before, they don't even work on most characters. And almost every character has a way to beat them, depending on their good jump-in ranges. The good jump-in ranges usually happen to be about the range of Chun-Li's stand heavy punch. So, at Chun-Li's best range, which is for the range of the stand heavy punch, she cannot anti-air reliably. Meaning that if Chun-Li wants to play at her best range, she doesn't get to play at her best range, because then she gets jumped in on. What can you do to beat jump-ins? You might still ask. Well, as long as you cycle through all of your anti-air options, it'll be hard to guess them out. And usually you are about +4. You're not close enough to get any punish or anything, but you are close enough that back or forward medium punch will frame trap them. This is risky though, because you do not know reliably what the frame data is. Another option is simply to not play at your best range. You're not going to be playing a good character if you don't play at your best range, but if you want to anti-air, crouch heavy punch is actually a real option. Against some characters, not many, it does have a very slight anti-air hitbox, as in the hurt box and the hitbox are completely level with each other right at the top. So against characters that don't have good timing mix-ups, you can use this. Against characters that have very different timing mix-ups, so not birdie, pretty much, you can use it and you'll sometimes go under them, but then they can usually sweep you if they expect it. Other than that, it often loses to cross-ups, and it doesn't actually cover a lot of ranges. And you're not actually minus if you're not. Sometimes you're not plus if you hit it, and it loses to dive kicks and everything else with disjoint. Last option is just a big Cammy, best character.